All right, we back at it, back to the weekly Forex cast. Going to get right to it. If you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be getting right into the setups that's on my watch list for the week and see what type of potential moves we can catch. All right, so if we look at starting with the dollar index as always, the dollar index, we're looking at the monthly. It's an interesting point to pay attention to because we see we're at this level of supply. All right, then if we look at the monthly candle that closed, this printed a bearish shooting star. So that usually can be an indication, especially when you see this at a high of supply or a level of liquidity like this, that could be a sign of the sellers coming in. All right. But we just got to be careful for that. But that is on a monthly time frame. Okay. So it could take time for that to play out. So now if we go down to like about the daily, all right, you can see price came down and we're basically retesting. All right. We're retesting this previous level of structure. Okay, so this is an interesting point that I would look for or that I would look at to see if price either want to hold or price want to continue up. All right, because price could very much, it could hold right here. It could hold right here and just, it could break down from here. So let's say if price comes down, the dollar index comes down and breaks back below structure. All right, the chances are we're going to see a bigger correction down on the dollar. All right, now if the dollar holds here and continues up, then we can possibly get that continuation to the upside. All right, at least for another corrective move up. So if it breaks above here, we could possibly see price give us a bigger move to the upside. All right, and this week we do have, let's see on the fundamentals. We do have Tuesday, we have the interest rate decision for the Australian dollar. It's looking like they're projecting the rates to raise. All right, they're going to raise the rates. It's looking like Thursday. All right, Wednesday we got crude oil. Thursday we have facility rate. We have policy statement for the euro, the ECB rate decision. All right, so it's a lot of volume that we could be looking that's going to be coming into the euro, and unemployment claims for the dollar. All right, then we got interest rate, or we got employment change for the Canadian dollar on Friday. All right, and you see on Tuesday we got CPI or composite PMI and the services for the GBP. So it's fundamentals that's on the list. So we gotta, these fundamentals are typically just gonna give the volume or give the move that was already set to come. All right, just accelerate these things. So here on the dollar, if price breaks down here, breaks back below structure, then expect the dollar to give us a bigger move up. All right, but if it breaks above here, expect a bigger corrective move up before any more bearish pressure on the dollar. All right, so I don't look to trade the dollar index. I use this as a tool of confluence. So when I'm trading dollar pairs, I can trade according to that. All right. All right, so we can look at, first, let's look at GJ. Okay. All right, so really looking at GJ, if we look to the left, prices came back to retest around 164. That's really this top. That's this top of supply or resistance that it made in 2016 Brexit, where it had this big fall. So this is a point of structure that we want to pay attention to. All right, because we go down to the daily, we can see like this doji type pin bar just formed on the daily. All right, so I'm really interested. Usually, I don't like to trade on Sundays. I'm interested to see how the market is developing going into Monday, London, Monday, New York session, and seeing how that daily Monday candle closed. That really would give us a stronger indication of what I can expect for that week going into the rest of the days of the week on that specific pair. So like right here, we're looking for something similar. All right, if we're going to look for a sell on GJ, which this is a level we could potentially get that, I would like to see something similar happen right here, how with price in the past gave it like a daily rejection from this level. All right, then after that, we got the correction or the pullback, and then we got the continuation down. So we can see something, look for something possibly to happen similar if we're going to get the sell. Because of course, if price was to just break above here, the chances are we're going to see price, raise even further. At least unless price was to give like a false breakout. So that's why if you look for a retest, you want to see a nice hold and not price to come back down and just break back below structure. All right, so if we see right here on a 4-hour, looking to the left, always look left to go right. You see in the past, breakdown, pullback, continuation. So right here, initially, we got a nice 4-hour rejection right here. All right, a nice pin bar rejection. and then a bearish engulfing close. So that's the type of price action I like to see, like on a 4-hour from a level of supply like this. So far, it is looking good for potential sales coming, even on the 2-hour. Nice pin bar shooting star type projection, moving away from that level. All right, so this is what I would look for if we're going to get a sell. For stronger confirmation, I would like to see something like this. So we can take our counter trend line here. All right. Okay, take our counter trend line. So if price can give us a nice breakdown here, break of structure, breaking below our trend line, stronger break, because if we get a stronger impulsive break of this, then chances are that's going to form a nice daily candle close, maybe a bearish engulfing, some type of strong bearish close on the daily. And then we can look for our pullback after that. Look for our pullback for another wave down. All right, so that's what I'm looking for in GJ this week. Now, of course, if price was to come up and just break above structure and hold support, maybe on the retest, the chances are it's going to continue up. But at the same time, sometimes you get a false breakout where price will break above that, but then you'll see a sharp close right back below this structure. So that's a sign that it will be a fault break and we can still look for ourselves. All right. So initially, ideally, I want to see going into Monday, we can see this break down and then we can catch our pullback opportunity for the continuation down. Because looking at this on the daily, we roughly around 163.5. This could come all the way back down here, all the way back down to 160. All right, which is over 300 pips from where price is currently at. So this definitely is a nice potential setup we have setting up. We just got to be patient to see if it want to give us that. All right, so let's go to GU. So GU is, I was looking for this potential sell. I sent this out in the VIP Discord, but we had NFP. So, price was a bit jerky, a bit back and forth. All right, so let's see something real quick. So price been in the downtrend. If you look at the daily, it's been in this downtrend on the daily. All right. Even if you look at the weekly, all right, it's been in the downtrend from this high of supply, making these lower highs and lower lows in structure. So if we look at this weekly close, to me, this weekly close look like either a tweezer top or almost a railroad. All right, it's just not perfect. This could possibly indicate a bearish railroad. All right, these candlesticks look just about identical. That could possibly be a railroad setup. But if we go down to the daily, all right, on the daily, almost the same thing. Almost the same thing, railroad or like tweezer top. All right, almost identical. All right, so if we look at this from a 4-hour perspective, just looking at just most recent structure. So I could take my counter trend line here. All right, and we can see, you can see that price broke down and broke structure here. So with this break of structure, I was looking for anticipating some type of retest of this and then giving us a continued move down. So that is it. If you were looking for the entry like on this retest, all right, you could have caught that, to end the week. Price gave a nice, 80 pip, about 75 to 80 pip drop. All right, but now looking at this, me personally, I still would like to look for a potential sell. Okay. Now, if prices to come up here and just break back above, then chances are that was invalidate any sell. But if you already missed this move, I would say either look for maybe some type of pullback rejection and then catch that continuation move down. All right. Or to have stronger confirmation for a bigger drop, I would say you could wait for a break of this structure. If you get a breakdown of this structure, all right, breaking this low, also higher low to the left, then you can look for a pullback or a retest of that and look to continue down. All right, that probably would be the safer entry. All right, just for even stronger confirmation. But seeing something like this, a breaker structure and a retest, that's textbook, that's ideal. So we could possibly get it again here and then catch that pullback corrective move for another move down. All right. So that's what I'm looking for, GU. Same thing. I would like to see how this form going into Monday. All right, maybe you'll get that breaker structure early, or maybe you'll get a pullback and price just range before possibly breaking this level. What the dollar does is going to also have an impact, direct impact to what GU is going to do, what all the majors is going to do. All right, we can also look at Euro USD. All right, and also be mindful of the fundamentals that's coming out for the Euro ECB different rate decisions. All right. So that's all going to have a direct impact because we look at EU here on the weekly, you see price found firm support at this level of demand where price had a big rise in the past. All right. So we found firm support at this same level. All right. So with that, price had a nice rise up. Okay. So now we're roughly sitting around a previous level of demand here or support. All right. This is a level where you could possibly see price retest and just continue. So that's why looking at this, paying attention to how price react here is important. So if we go down to the daily, all right, initially price did give us a rejection right here, rejected. So you see now it just pulled back. It's a bit choppy right here because it formed a bullish engulfing on that pullback. So to be safe, all right, if you're not in this right now, we possibly could be setting up for another short. But price is praying around this level. So same thing, I would like to see how it develops going into Monday daily close, because if price continues to break above here, all right, I would say then it's still going to give us bullish move, maybe catch a pullback retest, and then we could see price head back into this level of supply. All right. Now, when you head back into that level of supply, then possibly price could still head up there before then give us that sell-off, possibly. All right. But if we break above here, basically, let me just get rid of this real quick. If we break above here, because if we look to the left, really, this was just retesting previous structure low right here. So this was a nice entry on this retest of this structure low right here. Gave it a retest and it sold off. All right. So really from that retest, it dropped 160 pips just about before then rising up. All right. So in order for us to look for more like sales, we need to see price hold below there. All right. It's pulling back now. So on this pullback, you can also take your counter trend line here. All right. We had to break down the structure. Now it gave us a deeper pullback. So on this pullback, if we could get a continued rejection from this level, then I would say look for continued sales. All right. Look for continued sales. But if price comes up and breaks above here, the chances are it's going to give us a bigger move up. All right, Euro AUD. Looking at Euro AUD, I'll look at this on the weekly real quick. Put this on the weekly. Hold on one second. All right, so looking at Euro AUD on the weekly, you can see that price basically came up and retested this previous level of demand to the left. That's why it's important to always look left to go right. We can look way over here to the left, major level of demand, right? Where price had big moves to the upside. So when you come to these levels, you want to see how price react and trade in line with that. Price had a strong, initially, price broke below, had a strong retest, rejection, boom. All right. And now we had another retest rejection, strong rejection, pin bar rejection away. All right. And now looking at this weekly close, we had a nice weekly close on that rejection. So if I go down doing a top-down analysis, I go down to the daily time frame. So you look at the daily time frame. So I could look at this and I will take my counter trend line here. All right. So with the counter trend line, you can see price also broke below that. Not only that, we also broke structure. We also broke structure here. We also broke structure right here. All right. We see that we broke structure. So right here, me personally, I'm looking for a pullback or a retest. So a retest in here or maybe slightly higher, look for that potential continuation down. So I can take my trend line also from here to that shoulder. All right. And I'm looking for on this pullback, looking for a potential continuation down. I could take my Fibonacci from this high down to here. All right. So anywhere around the 38.2 to 50%, possibly we could get some type of rejection in here. All right. And look for that retest opportunity to just continue down, something like this. for the continuation. So we'll see how that develops. Also knowing that, you know, you got the interest rates Tuesday for the Australian dollar. So keep that in mind as well. All right, so looking at USD Cad, still bearish on this as well. Really, I just could keep this real simple. Looking at the daily, okay, looking at the daily, looking to the left. Always look left to go right, right? In the past, this was a level of resistance, right? Right here, fell down. It became support here, became support. Became support. So this became a level of support and there was resistance in the past. All right. So with that, we have a daily close below. Daily close below this level. So with that daily close below this level, I'm looking for some type of retest. All right. A retest in this level would be nice, would be ideal for the potential continuation down towards this level, anywhere between 1.25, 1.24245. Anywhere in this range will be a nice retest for continuation down there. All right, so GBP Cad. If you guys hear a baby crying, just forgive me. This is the life of being a new father and a trader at the same time. All right, so if I'm dealing with GBP Cad, you can see price had a nice breakdown here. All right, on the weekly, price had it had a pullback, retest, a nice bearish breakdown, giving us a nice bearish close back below this level. All right. So with that, it's showing for me breaking below that level of demand that we still have some potential move to the downside. All right. Even here on the daily, formed a lower low. All right. So now what I would look for is some type of pullback. Again, similar to GBP Cad. I mean, similar to USD Cad, excuse me. Some type of pullback, you know, something like this, pullback, retest around these levels or maybe a little deeper and look for that continuation down. I will look for this lower high on this retest to hold. All right. So pullback, continuation. All right. Also keep in mind, like when you look at that, let's say USD Cad, it correlates, it's inverse of oil. So we see oil is still so bullish. And I know we all seeing the direct impact when it comes to these gas prices. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But oil is still bullish. So if we look at this on the daily, for me, I'm still bullish on oil. So any type of pullback, you know, I'm still expecting price to continue to the upside. All right. So let's say, okay, price can come back. You see it just pretty much making higher highs. All right. So even if it pulls back more, I believe it will pull back possibly just to continue to go up. All right. And with that, that will be good for our bias for USD Cad to be bearish. All right. Because CAD and oil correlates. When you see oil, strong oil strength, usually you'll see Canadian dollar strength as well. All right. So keep that in mind. And lastly, looking at gold. All right. So if we look at gold, on a weekly, we got like a pin bar, doji, rejection, showing a little indecision, but a rejected from this level of resistance. All right. Even in the past, this was a level of resistance where price broke down, formed resistance, and continued down. So it's rejected from a level that, you know, has some level of interest or value where price normally reacts from. All right. So looking at this on a 4-hour, I would say I will potentially still look for potential short opportunities. All right. Either something like this. I would say either look for maybe on this pullback, maybe retest around here, and look for a potential move down. All right. Or if price comes down and breaks this higher low, then I would say look for a pullback or a retest of that for a continuation down. But overall, right now, I'm still in the intraday, I'm still bearish on gold going into this week. All right. At least for now, for short term. Okay. So those are the pairs that's on my watch list for the week. If you're in the VIP Discord, I will keep you up to date. I will give you access. I will let you know about any signals or any opportunities I see. If you are just new here, you just know you can also visit the free Telegram. Everything will be in the description, in the bio. So just check us out. Stay up to date on any projections that I see. And, let's be patient. Let's let it come to us. And let's catch these pips. Y'all have a blessed one.